The Roadrunner Review is brought to you by its proud sponsors. Please visit Qdoba's downtown location at 15th and Market to try some warm 3-cheese queso, tortilla soup, or burritos you can't find anywhere else. And Panorama Orthopedics and Spine Center. From sports injuries to spine injuries to total joints for arthritis, they are in your neighborhood caring for your injuries, located at 3 convenient locations: Golden, Littleton, and Thornton. After a blazing 4-1 start to the season, the women's basketball team has cooled off a bit, dropping their past 5 of 7 games. They look to get back on track at home against RMAC opponent Western New Mexico. Senior Chelsea Williamson with a turnaround jumper for the quick 2-0 lead, but the half belongs to sophomore guard Candace Cohn, who scores 11 points in the first frame. Cohn pops one in from the perimeter. The Runners' lead got to as high as 10 in that first half. Both teams couldn't find their shooting touch. Western New Mexico shot 31%, while Metro shot a touch better at 32%. Metro's Emily Wood has a chance at a three-pointer just before the half, but it goes wide left, and Metro holds on to a 28-22 point lead at the break. Shotwell Morris with the layup. She led the Stangs with 12 points, but a 16-3 run in the second half pushes Metro's lead to 51-35. Sophomore Jasmine Cervantes nails a trifecta to lead all scorers with 15 points. Then the guard from Johnstown, Colorado finds an open lane to finish on the layup. Metro goes on to win big at the Nest, 63-48. 6 days later, the Roadrunners traveled to Las Vegas, New Mexico, and used a huge second half to corral the Cowboys by a score of 68-55. Metro trailed by as much as 11 points in the first half, but shot 62% from the field to outscore New Mexico Highlands 42-21 in the second half. 4 runners scored in double figures. The next night, the Roadrunners' hot shooting went ice cold, hitting 36% from the floor in the 68-51 loss to the Thunderwolves in Pueblo. CSU Pueblo had 5 players score in double figures and forced the Roadrunners to turn over the ball 19 times. 3 days later, for their third game in 5 nights, the Runners took on their crosstown rival Regis at the Regis Fieldhouse. 6'5" Selena Kuiper with the easy 2 points. Metro's tallest player, how about 5'10"? To start the game, however, Metro races out to a 10-2 lead. Cervantes with the mid-range jumper, then is Brandy Valencia with the baseline J, but both offenses struggled producing low first half totals. But check out this feed from Valencia to Williamson for the easy deuce. But Regis's Chelsea Porter nails one from long range, giving her team a 28-25 lead heading into the break. Brandy Valencia came up huge for her team in the second half. The freshman puts up 17 total points. She also pulls down 6 rebounds. And of course, it wouldn't be Metro State basketball if they didn't force turnovers, as Regis commits 21 of them. Cervantes with the nab and the layup. But Regis keeps pace, and this Taylor Purdy left-hand layup inching the Rangers within 2. Cervantes goes Peyton Manning on the Rangers, finding Williamson, who fakes and goes glass for 2. Metro reels off a 13-3 run to take a 48-36 lead as Cohn dishes to Aaron Daugherty for 2 more. The Runners pull off the road win over the Rangers 65-54. Metro shot 44% from the field, and despite the height disadvantage, the Runners out-rebounded Regis 42-28.
It was a huge win. We needed that one, and after a not very good performance versus CSU Pueblo, it was nice to come out here and get a road win. And our players played great in the second half. Our first half was a little shaky at times, but in the second half we really buckled down. We looked to attack a lot more offensively, and we got stops.
It was home sweet home for the women's team as they took down the top team in the East Division by a score of 59-37. The 37 points allowed was a season best for the Runners, holding the Diggers to 33% from the field and an abysmal 16% from downtown. Sophomore Alyssa Benson led the way with 16 points. But Metro couldn't make it 2 in a row, losing a squeaker to Colorado Christian in a game where the winner would take first place of the East Division. The Roadrunners did shoot 40%, but it was the long ball that cost them, hitting only 1 of 9 from beyond the arc. Now check out the RMAC standings to see where our women's teams stand in the conference. They are brought to you by the Auraria Campus Student Auxiliary Services. Still to come on the show, Metro's indoor track and field team, well, minus the field, is starting up their season. And break out the bats. Baseball and softball season previews are coming up next on the Roadrunner Review. The Roadrunner Review would like to thank its sponsors. Jason's Deli Real Food is fresh, higher quality, more flavorful, less processed, and naturally better tasting. Get real food at any Jason's Deli location. And the Boulder Broker Inn, a proud partner and preferred hotel for Metro State Athletics. Welcome back to the show as we sprint on over to the indoor track team. The season is just underway and they competed in the Air Force All-Comers Open back on January 15th. Sophomore Sean Lindbaum ran a provisional NCAA qualifying mark in the 800 in a time of 1 minute and 55 seconds. That converts over to 1:53 after altitude. Lindbaum was named RMAC Track Athlete of the Week for his performance. Also, Carl Arnold missed the provisional mark by a fraction of a second, and Senya Flores finished 5th in the 1 mile. The next meet came 2 weeks later at the Joe Davies Open in Golden. The team is led by new head coach John Supsick. In the men's 3000, senior Brandon Johnson finishes in 4th place, which was the best finish by a college athlete. There were a few unattached runners at the meet. Junior Zach Mares crosses the line in the 8th spot. In the women's 3000 meters, Flores finishes the race in the 3rd spot. Not bad for a sophomore. And right behind her was senior Taybrook Rudder in 4th. In the 800-meter run, Rick Bogote takes 1st place in a time of 1 minute and 58 seconds. How about the 1 mile? Lindbaum running near the front for the first few laps, but it is Arnold who makes his way to the front to finish in 2nd. He was the top college finisher in the mile. The women's mile featured Flores, who completed the race in the 5th spot. Redshirt freshman Lexi Levang finishes in 19th. In the 400-meter dash, the 2009 RMAC Freshman of the Year, Derek Fiorni, blazes his way to a 2nd-place finish. He was the top college finisher, crossing the line at 52:44. Sophomore Jacob Walford was the next Roadrunner in line in the 400, finishing 7th. Very cool. And today you ran in the 3000. How did that race go for you?
Well, my coach told me that those guys that were in 1st through 3rd were going to be in there. He runs with those and trains with those guys up in Boulder, so he just told me to stick behind him and play the race smart. You know, they were pretty fast. I didn't even see him at the end, so I just tried to hang in there.
Coach John, he's a first-year coach for you guys. I mean, he was an assistant too, and so how's he kind of transitioned to being head coach, and how fun has it been, or maybe not fun, been running underneath him?
It's something different. I mean, it was an easy transition since he was our assistant coach. You know, he's friends with Pete and Sean, and he knows what it takes to be really good, and he added some more stuff that we can work on, like core workouts and everything, just to make us a stronger runner, and it's been working out pretty well. So I'm really excited with having him as our coach.
Metro State also had 2 teams compete in the distance medley relay the previous night. Both teams hit provisional marks for a chance to compete at the national event in Albuquerque, New Mexico in March. Oh yeah, both teams finished 1-2 at the event. Don't forget to check out GoMetroState.com for our fan poll. If your selection is announced as the winner, you have a chance to win a great Metro State prize package. We'll be right back. Thanks for sticking around on the Roadrunner Review. And if you want to see any of these highlights or other Metro State videos, visit our website at GoMetroState.com. Our softball team is gearing up for their 3rd season as a program, and if the first 2 seasons are any indication of how this one may go, the sky's the limit for our Roadrunners. You know, for most new programs, it takes years before progress is made, but Metro State has defied those odds to take the conference and the country by storm. Famous American writer Dale Carnegie once said, "Develop success from failures. Discouragement and failure are 2 of the surest stepping stones to success." Well, Carnegie must not have set eyes on Metro State's softball team. In 2 years as a program, the Roadrunners have produced 78 wins in only 108 games. They have 2 Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference tournament appearances, an RMAC regular season and tournament championship, and an NCAA tournament bid in year 2. Metro State breeds success from success, and they'll tell you there are a few keys they follow toward that success.
Starts with the coaches, and when a team has a lot of victories year after year, I mean, you know where that's coming from, or where that at least starts from, and that's our coaches.
We just have a lot of girls that have come from like different places, and I think we respect each other, so we all get along really well. We know like each other's talents and everything, and we really like cooperate really well together.
Coach Fisher really pushes us every day. She doesn't let us slack at all, which is a huge thing. We hit all of the time, and we just work on the little things. We focus on the little things. I mean, we're all good players in general, but when we focus on the little things, that's what makes us better and better.
But can this team get any better? They return all but 1 player from last year's squad. 95 of the 98 home runs hit last year will be back in the lineup, and Metro carries the RMAC preseason pitcher of the year in Christy Robinson. So the question may not be if success will come this season, but how far they can take it.
You know, we know it's within our power. It's not going to be easy, but we know it's within our reach, and it's a logical goal to make it to that super regional. And so, of course, that's really what we'd like to do.
I think our goals are very high, and I don't think that we can put any type of limit on what we can achieve, because there's so much talent on our team this year.
Metro State is picked to win the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. Check out the entire preseason poll brought to you by Hotel VQ, located just minutes from campus and the downtown area. Log on to www.hotelvq.com to make your reservation. Don't go anywhere.